Welcome to African News Roundup. Starting off this segment, General Assimi Goïta, the head of Mali's military junta, spoke for the first time on Monday about the country's fuel crisis. The crisis stems from jihadist groups' blockade of fuel tankers entering the landlocked West African nation. Until now, Malian authorities have said a little about the blockade imposed by Jemaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin, JNIM, which is linked to Al-Qaeda. Militants from the JNIM group announced a ban on fuel imports from neighboring countries into Mali in early September after authorities said this year that they were cutting down fuel supplies to remote areas as a measure to squeeze the jihadists in their hideouts. As JNIM is one of several armed groups operating in the Sahel, a vast strip of semi-arid desert stretching from North Africa to West Africa, where an insurgency is spreading rapidly with large-scale attacks. This is my analysis on this. The military of Mali has attempted to escort fuel trucks and make airstrikes on militant bases, yet attacks still persist. The state of the affairs has been a significant burden on the military junta that is in power, which shows how lack of security and violence is in the Sahel region, and it is deteriorating and derailing with fundamental needs. Nevertheless, something has to be done because people are dying and the condition of the nation is getting worse. Military government must take actions at the moment to help the people so as they can live their life without fear. Still on African News, the United Nations is sounding the alarm, warning that the current global efforts to combat climate change is falling short. The report says that the United States' withdrawal from the Paris Agreement counteracts much of the progress made in recent years. The latest climate plans to reduce future warming by about 0.3 degrees Celsius. The global average temperature increase is mainly caused by the release of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide when fuel like oil, gas, and coal are burned. So the plans that countries submit must detail how much and how quickly they will cut emission of these gases. This is what I think. Although some forward has been made since the Paris Agreement when the world was on a path towards a 4 degrees Celsius rise, climate action is still too slow and too small. And the message is that nations should radically decrease the consumption of fossil fuels and intensify their efforts to eliminate greenhouse gas emissions. Finally, on African News Roundup, World Health Organization on Tuesday released a new guidance for countries on how to counter the immediate and long-term effects of sudden severe cuts to external funding, which are disrupting delivery of essential health services in many countries. The new guidance, called Responding to the Health Financing Emergency, Immediate Measures and Longer-Term Shifts, provides a suite of policy options for countries to address sudden financing shocks and bolster efforts to mobilize and implement sufficient sustainable financing for the national health systems, whose surveys data from 108 LMICs collected in March 2025 indicates that funding cuts have reduced critical services, including maternal care, vaccination, health emergency preparedness and response, and disease surveillance by up to 70% in some countries. Now, this is what I think about this. WHO issued a new set of guidelines that provide both short and long-term policy options that aid countries to stabilize their health systems and ensure sustainable funding. The situation has, however, jeopardized the employment of healthcare professionals and training in more than 50 nations, exacerbating global health disparities. Now, this recent policy has brought much to the needy nations. The World Health Organization can not only give guidelines, but also expand their medical and health assistance to assure that people receive proper health care and that health workers are still able to earn a living and get their jobs. All research was gotten from African News, and that's all I have for you today. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.